Come on now. Come on now. Come on, check, share it out. Come on now, share it out, ska, 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 ska. Sound check, 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 check. Ska, 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 ska. Sound check, Jin's aura. Ska, ska. Jin's aura. Sounds a little high. Pull it back a little bit. Pull it back. Jin's aura. Rosette, Jin's aura. Ska, Jin, sound check. There she is, Nez lover. Nez lover. Nez lover. Nez lover. Ska, 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 ska. Oh, darling. It's TWB popcorn. Everybody got their popcorn. It's TWP popcorn. Ladies and gentlemen, show me Sasquatch. Show me Sasquatch, and it's show me Sasquatch. Welcome, 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 welcome. Debbie Carson, Debbie Carson. Check, Debbie, check, 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 check. Oh, come on up here in the front. I saved you a seat. Gulf Coast Granny, Gulf Coast Granny, Gulf Coast Granny, Gulf Coast Granny. Check, Gulf Coast Granny, Gulf Coast Granny. And it's rowing, and it's rowing, and it's rowing. Hey everyone. Scully, I've missed you. Soul Linder. It's Soul Linder. It's Soul Linder. And it's Soul Linder. Ska, 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 Jin, ska. Kimmy, ska, 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 Kimmy, kiki, kiki, Kimmy, kins, kiki, Kimmy, kins, ska, 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 tongue clicking, ska, 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 Sasquatch, show me Sasquatch. Show me Sasquatch. Ska, 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 ska. Kimmy Kins. Kiki, kiki, Kimmy Kins. Rosette Jin's aura. It's Brosette's Gins Aura. Check. King Bluto. King Bluto. It's King Bluto. It's King Bluto. Bluto. Misfits and Dreamers. Misfits and Dreamers. Addie Pickle. Addie Pickle. Test Addie Pickle. Test. Test Addie Pickle. Test. Oh gigs. Oh gigs. Oh gigs. A little fish in the kitchen. It's little fish in the kitchen. Check, little fish. I got some popcorn. A little fish in the kitchen. It's the Nut House. The Nut House. The Nut House. Check. Solinder. Yang Abigail. It's Yang Abigail. Welcome. Welcome, darling. It's darling. Darling. Hold on a second. It's Oracles and Beyond. It's Oracles and Beyond. Oracles and Beyond. They're breaking it down. They're coming in. It's Eric Garcia. Check, Eric. Highly welcome, sir. It's Oracles and Beyond, and it's Sasquatch. Show me Sasquatch. And it's Kimmykins, and it's Oracles and Beyond. Nesluffer. Nesluffer. It's Nesluffer. Don't let me miss anybody. Big Tim Funny Channel. Big Tim Funny Channel. Highly welcome, Big Tim Funny Channel. Eric Garcia. Brosette's Gins Aura. Brosette's Gins Aura. I'm Scully. the author that reads to you. The author that reads to you. Skoo, 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 skoo. Buckle up. It's quite the ride. It's an audio dream. Callie Curly. Callie, you got your listening ears on, darling. It's Callie Curly. Ska Callie. Ska, 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 ska. Ska Callie Curly. Callie Curly. My eyes are growing heavy. It's so soothing. Ska, 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 ska. Ska Callie Curly. Ska, darling. Soul Lender. It's Soul Lender. I'm sitting on a towel as you make me sweat and wet. Eddie Pickle. Ska, Eddie, ska, 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 ska. Share it out. Share it out. Americans at large, Americans at large, Americans at large. It's Matt and Holly, Americans at large. Americans at large. We're all Americans at large. Don't be scared, Super Dave. It's an audio dream. Hold the door. Hold the door. It's Lori's Tech Time. Lori's Tech Time. It's Lori Tech Time and it's Lori's Tech Time. Ska Lori. Ska, 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 ska. Come sit by me and I'll hold your hand, Addie Pickle. It's the Nut House. The Nut House. Test, peanut test. The little fish in the kitchen. Gimme cans. It's Jinzara and its oracles and beyond. I read novels with sound effects and visuals that go along with the story. And if you stick around, there might be a brain tingle or two. Laissez les bons temps rouler. Laissez les bons temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Laissez les bons temps rouler. Laissez les bons temps rouler. That's Cajun for let the good times roll. My second novel, Laissez les bons temps rouler. Deidre Baker. Deidre Baker. Hold on, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I see it and I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Benny Loca. I'm waiting for it. Benny Loca. Benny Loca. It's Benny Loca. It's Benny Loca. And it's Benny Loca. Ska Benny ska 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 darling. Ska 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 ska. Benny Loca. There he is, Stony Baker, empty. Stony Baker, empty. Stony Baker, empty. Stony, ska. Never let the darkness of your past and the fear of your future ruin the happiness of your present. Show me some squatch. Laissez les bons temps rouler. Laissez les bons temps rouler. It's the nut house. Laissez les bons temps rouler. 20-year-old Margie Main has just returned from France, where she studied culinary arts. Upon her arrival, she meets an old Cajun man at the Griddle House. His name is Michel Boudreau. He's 87 and has plenty of wisdom to offer her. After all, she has plans to open a restaurant with an inheritance she'll receive on her birthday. And Boudreaux's grandmother's recipes fit the bill. She learns that the old Cajun has lost his crawfish farm. It's in South Louisiana due to the oil spill. He tells her that the oil company has denied his claim. He has lost everything. On the 10th Sunday, they meet once a week. Boudreaux pulls out an old Colt 45 and holds up the place, leaving Margie stunned as they are held hostage. His plan is to get back at the oil company, but in a way that Margie cannot condone. Intrigue, extortion, gut-wrenching drama. A thriller of the 7 deadly sins versus the oil company. And how the Gulf oil spill has affected our lives. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Chick. How you like that? Cylinder. It's the Jeff word. The Jeff word. It's the Jeff word. Sk, 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 sk. Don't let me miss anybody. Benny Loco and Jens Aura. Well, welcome. K-Lastic TV. K-Lastic TV. Jens Aura. Breakdown. How could I have known that Boudreaux would snap a Sunday night? It seemed like any other Sunday night to me, when we told bizarre stories until we couldn't take it anymore. Furthermore, none of us at the Griddle House considered the fact that we were all there together as a group. The same people Sunday in and Sunday out. It never dawned on us to look at it like that. But even beyond that, Boudreaux following us around in our private lives. Who would have ever thought? We as friends and acquaintances, some as lovers, had been at this diner together long enough to know that there might be secrets among us. But none of that should have mattered. Truthfully, I thought Boudreaux was about as fun-loving as a person could be. Most of the time, he was this jolly old man. Generous, religious to the core. Not some person who would go crazy on a limb. Not unless he had a point. At first, I had no idea that Boudreaux had lost everything, that the old company had denied his claim. at the way of life as he knew it was over. It had taken time for him to open up and explain why he was so disconsolate. The subtle hints I didn't get. I also remember thinking, Boudreaux, you'll get out of this. You'll find a way. And here's me now thinking, I'm sorry, Boudreaux. I understood why you did what you did. But really, I had no idea. That night, my friend, my confidant, would unleash a fury. A fury I had never known nor cared to see. Not my lifetime, and not 3 days before my 21st birthday. No, if anybody would have asked me, I would have said that Boudreaux was a pal, save nothing else. I didn't know this side of him. He didn't seem like a violent man. My congenial acquaintance, my friend. So when the old Cajun admitted that he had lost everything, I just figured he'd pick up pieces and move on. In truth, I had no clue as to the seriousness of his words. They had yet to weigh on my conscience. I remember Boudreaux walking in that night, wearing an unusual amount of clothing, a large army duffel bag strapped over his shoulder. I remember thinking, how peculiar. I took it in stride when he told me he'd been feeling ill. He was just cold, he said. Said he thought he might try to protect himself by double layering. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to get out of the house. He would have missed their meeting. I asked about the army duffel bag. He said it was just something he picked up from an old friend. I said, and thought nothing of it. We had our coffee, we smoked our cigarettes, and we went over his grandmother's recipes again. Next, we discussed the day's events, how the Mississippi was getting ready to crest in the next few weeks, how the people in Cajun country might be in trouble because of 1, the oil clusters in the Gulf, and 2, the possibility that the levees might breach around Morgan City. And then Boudreaux did the unthinkable. Boudreaux did the unthinkable. He removed that Colt 45, changing my life forever. Chapter 2. The Stock Explorer. The Stock Explorer. The Stock Explorer. It's TW Popcorn. That's That's right. Lori's Tech Time. Don't let me miss anything, Benny Loco. Benny Loco. Check. Quantumly entangled. Quantumly entangled. Show me Sasquatch. Who we got out there? StreamYard. StreamYard. Share it out. Share it out. Mo bang for your bucks. Mo bang for your bucks. Mo bang for your bucks. Take it in. Take it in. Kimmykins. 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 Yeah, we might need some people to play a few parts. It's Producer Jill. It's Producer Jill. It's Producer Jill, and it's Producer Jill. Producer Jill. Test, Jill, test. It's the Jeff word. It's the Jeff word, and it's Producer Jill. Testing. 1, 2, 3. It's John Venturini. John V. Venturini. Let me get that right. John Venturini. It's John Venturini. John Venturini. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. Tonight we're reading a little excerpt from Laissez, Bon Temps Rouler. Blood Dragon. It's Blood Dragon. Test Blood Dragon. Test. Blood Dragon. Addie Echo. Hey, Addie darling. They're coming in. It's Chrissy Chico. Welcome, darling. Chrissy Chico. It's John G. How's it going, Jean G? John G. Jean G. Pixel Pia. Hey, darling. It's Pixel Pia. Thank you, Benny Loco. Clicking. Check, sound check, sound check. Ska. Let that thing crank up. Now this brings me back to the part where Boudreaux removed that awesome weapon, the Colt 45, which is where I said, "What the hell are you doing, Boudreaux?" "I'm getting ready to hold up the place." "You're getting ready what?" "C'est ça couillon, man. What the hell does it look like?" "Is that thing loaded?" "You damn right it is, partner. This here's what you call an old grave Colt 45 single action revolver. Bone piece of work. My pawpaw gave it to me. Look, it's even signed by the engraver, L. Kelly, made in 1907. The gun is also mechanically perfect, has an excellent bore. I had no idea that Boudreaux knew so much about guns. My eyes were amazed at the beauty of the revolver. A full coverage design with a series of curly cues interwoven to create an intricate pattern. A beautiful egg yellow glazed ivory grips. I was mesmerized. I'd never seen anything like it. I imagine it was the kind of gun used in the Wild West. What the hell is this all about, Boudreaux? I got some business to take care of, babe. Business? What kind of business? You mean here? Don't matter. It's gotta be done somewhere else. What's gotta be done, Boudreaux? Everything. Stay tuned. Hang in there a minute. As he rose from the booth, he tapped the barrel of the gun on the water glass. And when all eyes regarded him, said, "Everybody stay right where you at, don't move." What the hell is this all about? My subconscious said. I imagine everybody else thought the same thing. After all, we were used to Boudreaux's antics. He always pulled stunts like this. Little practical jokes where he'd cut somebody down and then bring them back up at the last minute, making them feel on top of the world. Of course, he never pulled a gun. But still, could this be real? The jesting look that normally a cop. The jesting look that normally occupied Boudreaux's face. The easygoing demeanor. It was all but gone. We soon realized this was not a joke. Yeah, you'd better pay attention. That night we would all face one truth or another. And there was no one, no cop, no SWAT team, no hero of the hour that was going to save us. Now it's my job to paint an accurate picture of the man with whom we were dealing and what we were able to accomplish 2 days before Christmas. 2 days before Christmas. It's Dagon Hills. Check Dagon Hills. You're highly welcome, my friend. I see you, Lori. Lori's tech time. Hey, darling. Lori. Who's out there? Roll call. Test. Roll call. Welcome. You're coming in. Share it out. It's Robin M. Hang in there, Stoney. Hang in there, buddy. I see you, Peanut. It's Peanut at the Nut House. Y'all go over there and check that out. There we go. Alright. Okay. Red ants in the south will cluster during a bad storm. It's not uncommon to see golf ball-sized blankets of them suspended in flooded areas during or in the aftermath of a hurricane. They have this intrinsic will to survive. Check. The entire colony will stay intact, mimicking a floating ribbon that usually contains the whole knot, including, amongst it somewhere, the queen. Boudreaux faced us all down into the smoking section. We felt just as such, and I couldn't help but wonder if I was supposed to be the leader of the pack. The old Cajun crammed us into 3 booths, but the problem was there were 19 of us, so that meant 7 to a booth in one case. Like the ants, we all seemed attached. He'd also taken our cell phones, so pleased the outside world wouldn't exist. During our encampment, leaving us to sort out the seating arrangement, Boudreaux had skirted over to the other side of the diner. I watched as he removed a can of black spray paint from his bag and began dousing the foyer windows. He's blocking their view, I said to myself. They're going to be able to see us. How smart. What is Boudreaux up to? He's not taking any chances, that's for sure. I guess we're gonna be here for a while. Turn that down, music audio a little there. It's Thomas Purcell. Thomas Purcell. Welcome, Thomas. Robin in. Hey, darling. Robin. Hey, Nez. Hey, Nez, you got your listening ears on? It's Nez Lover. It's Nez Lover. Break it down, Nez. Benny Loca. Benny Loca. Next, Boudreaux set his sights on the trio of tables in the non-smoking section. Fumbling with the contents of his duffel bag, the old Cajun removed items and laid them out on the table. Like a surgeon preparing instruments. Several types of guns, some rope, pliers, and other objects which appeared contributory to the cause. There was a painting of some kind, which he laid face down. After measuring his surroundings, Boudreaux inspected the area to see that his perimeter had been set up. Several times he considered the length between the farthest table and the door. What was he doing exactly? Without a warning, Chris Stevens, the store's manager, slipped away from the bag and, entering a sort of no man's land, eased over to the bar stool nearest the cash register. For what reason, I could only guess. Perhaps he felt like the captain of the ship, wanting to take the blame for whatever consequence came our way. Or he was angry that somebody had come into his store and pulled the stunt. I, for one, knew he was used to the frequent harbinger of sorrow that came in drunk off his ass. Normally, Chris would have escorted the nuisance right out the front door. That night, Chris Stevens acted differently. He simply took a seat by the register and said nothing. a deer finding no retreat. Now that he had the seat, I could see Chris Stevens wondered what to do with the seat. Oh boy, I thought as I watched Boudreaux close the gap between him and Chris. Get back over there with the rest of the group, Boudreaux snapped. Chris Stevens recoiled slowly, attempting to calm Boudreaux with the palm of his hands pointed in the Cajun's direction. I was just trying to see what was going on. You gonna find out soon enough, Pete Punk. That I can promise. I didn't know what to do but go along with this unruly charade. I kept thinking how I was 3 days away from my inheritance. Pay attention, doll. This man's here for a reason. No, I don't have a good feeling at all. No, you weren't paying attention. Just like you do sometimes. Oh, shut up. Enough of this. The fact of the matter, I would never get the chance to thank Boudreaux, nor would any of the others. Although we would have ample time to think about it, we could see nothing save the eerie darkness coming our way. Chapter 6. Break it down, Penny Loco. It's peanut and it's peanut and it's peanut. It's Thomas Purcell. Ardmore bed, Ardmore bed, Ardmore bed. It's Ardmore bed and it's Ardmore bed. It's Ardmore bed. Rosette's Jen's Aura. Jen's Aura. Jen Aura. There were many Sundays when Boudreaux and I would get into these deep conversations. I could never understand it. I hated when I was gullible, too. Next thing I knew, he would slip into that melange of French and English, leaving me wonder what I had said. One day you gonna understand what the Greek-Greek's about, he had told me. The night we were held captive, Boudreaux gave us a good helping of this exclusive language. Even I didn't understand everything, and I spoke French pretty well. For this reason, I definitely found myself queen of the ants. Now bear in mind that many of those words he spoke were of the 17th century variety, not French I had learned in France. So I'll do the best I can to translate. Not long after Boudreaux began this remarkable travesty, he started talking about the subject of the 7 deadly sins. He touched briefly on Dante and other poets I had never heard of. He spoke in generalities. He gave us nothing else, not even Cliff Note versions at this point. I thought it was weird that I couldn't remember what these deadly sins were, because I remembered my father talking to me about them. But otherwise, I drew a complete blank by the look on everyone's faces. I could see that most of us had drawn similar conclusions. I think we were all in shock. To make matters worse, I was conscious of some terrible storm brewing in the Cajun. He said he wasn't going to get into it yet, but greed was the biggest sin of them all. Greed. The mother of all sins, he said. It began to dawn on me. My father told me about these sins. Well, I called them depravities of mankind. For the life of me, I couldn't think of what they were. Not all 7. I remembered lust and wrath, but nothing more than greed. I knew that I had never much thought about them anyway, no matter what my father had said. On the other hand, it didn't matter because I found Boudreaux standing there looking at me with that big loopy grin. He said, before this night is over, you gonna know them all. What they mean, the charms that break the spells, everything. We were spoken to, preached to for a while, but none of it made sense. In point of fact, I should say we had been picked, or rather, predetermined for lack of a better word. Yeah, chosen by judicious thought. Months and months of work must have gone into this night. I'd write our lives where we went, who we saw, what we did, and where we fit into the community had been carefully scrutinized. It's the insane irony of it all, Boudreaux following us around. It gives me the heebie-jeebies every time I think about it. Like a foreboding sense of awareness. An abiding sense of awareness. What kills me to this day, we simply had been reduced to a common denominator. So clever was Boudreaux, so demanding, standing there and speaking in that rough Acadian accent, all wild-eyed and saying, I think Dante describes it best. I know this means nothing to you right now. Vous êtes naïf. I knew that meant we were naive, which at the time truly we were. Save for one lone lady we would all get to know. Teresa was her name. Teresa Walker. And Teresa had lived in Long Beach her whole life. She, we would learn, would be our rock. Boudreaux paused for several seconds and then got right to the point. The old company, they had no right. He went on to tell us what happened, leaving out the blanks my mind could only fill. At great lengths he exposed his claim and how he had been railroaded. He told us about the faults in his life, how he could have done better. Regardless, I still question his motives. It's kind of weird, don't you think, for Boudreaux to lose his mind like this? No, you're right, it doesn't make sense. But at this point, how can it? I guess it can. How none of it was fair and all was fair game when Mother Nature decided to wreak destruction. When corporations intervened. When compassion played no part. How we too would be sympathetic to what had happened to Boudreaux. And to tell the truth today, how nothing would have changed the bearings of our minds that fateful night. How we would find ourselves in uncharted waters, in one predicament after another, or how we would all see and acknowledge the early morning sheen on the sound that Boudreaux spoke of. We would see it, he said, it would be there. Dis-moi la vérité, he said, dis-moi la vérité. He revealed to us for the first time what was painted on the canvas. There's dead turtles everywhere. He lifted up the piece for all to see, revealing what appeared to be congealed sludge with a shoe stuck in it and a mock-up of a deceased turtle off to one side. The portrait resembled an oil spill scene that might be found on the beach. It had been painted with the words, "Vala merde aussi." For the next minute, Boudreaux marveled at the painting. He said to us, "I used the real merde. What you think about that?" He went on with the story, leaving out nothing save the tender moment his father had brought him out to the crawfish traps at the age of 4. The one story he had told me especially. "Quoi faire?" he said in a way I had never heard again. The old company, they had no right. For a moment, I saw despondency in my friend's face. Don't let him fool you. With that thought in mind, I watched the old Caden depart our company. He retreated to his camp and began loading bullets into several guns. Check chapter 6. Check 2 minutes. Temps Rouler. Or in English, let the good times roll. 20-year-old Margie Lane has just returned from France, where she studied culinary arts. Upon her arrival, she meets an old Cajun man at the griddle house. His name is Michel Boudreau. He's 87 and has plenty of wisdom to offer her. After all, she has plans to open a restaurant with an inheritance she'll receive on her birthday. And Boudreaux's grandmother's recipes fit the bill. She learns that the old Cajun has lost his crawfish farm in South Louisiana due to the oil spill. He tells her that the oil company has denied his claim. He has lost everything. On the 10th Sunday, they meet once a week. Boudreaux pulls out an old Colt 45 and holds up the place, leaving Margie stunned as they are held hostage. His plan is to get back at the oil company, but in a way that Margie cannot condone. Intrigue, extortion, gut-wrenching drama, a thriller of 7 deadly sins versus the oil company, and how the Gulf oil spill has affected our lives. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let good times roll. Check. Laissez les bon temps rouler. That's right. I wrote this book a number of years ago, and I had a Cajun lawyer help me edit the French. Basically, I came up with a storyline and used Google Translator for the French, and then I had the person look at it, and they were like, well, that's not quite right. Check. See a couple of new faces out there tonight. Hey, Kemet 432. Kemet 432, you're highly welcome to the House of Thrillers. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. It's Kemet 432. And it's Thomas Purcell. It's Thomas Purcell. Welcome. The NDT show. The NDT show. It's Nathan at the NDT show. Charlotte. Hey, darling. It's Charlotte the Gulf Coast granny, the Gulf Coast granny. Stony Baker MD, Stony Baker MD, Stony Baker MD, yeah, StreamYard. Definitely wonky tonight. Definitely wonky. It's Jerry's passion. Jerry's passion. It's Jerry's passion. Jerry, Jerry's passion. Test, Jerry, test. I didn't forget about you. It's Jerry's passion. Stony Baker MD. Stony Baker MD. Robin Hill. Wonky, you say. Jerry's passion. And it's Kim at 432. Kim at 432. Kim at 432. The wonkiness of it all. From the other side of the building, the old Cajun kept a vigilant eye on us. Like Sherlock Holmes, he moved back and forth between the tables, scrutinizing his accoutrements and weapons, and odds had it, any thought that crossed his mind. In a peculiar way, he reminded me of Monk, a character on a television show. And like Monk would do, Boudreaux took great care in keeping his grandfather's gun pristine. As far as I was concerned, there was no point in trying to make a run for it. By the look of his arsenal, the old Cajun could take out any one of us. My mind drifted back a few years. No, they'll take him out if they get the chance. I hoped it wouldn't come to that. I looked up at the clock. It said 20 minutes to midnight, nearing the period when patrons scuttled in for late night coffees and midnight snacks. Check. It was also my standard departure time. Tonight, I wasn't going anywhere. Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Hey, darling. Sk, 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 sk. Mother Nature. After searching the room, I saw anxiety, expressions of doubt, sheer disbelief, and the dull fear of what might happen. Our repertoire of sarcastic remarks, the usual bric-a-brac of repartee reserved for these Sunday nights, had vanished. Butter said, we postpone picking on the weak. Mostly realizing that our pride had grown silk thin with the revelation that nothing good would come of it. No more games. Silently, we waited for an unlucky arrival. I prayed for no one to come. My God, what's Boudreaux gonna do? At some point, he's got to tell us. I think for now, we'd better be patient. The anticipation of the moment baffled me. Heads turned sporadically toward the windows, and then back to Boudreaux, and then back toward the windows, leaving me to think that we all wished for a peaceful end. With conviction, Boudreaux said the sloth lacked courage. He quoted in the best way he knew how that zeal was an enthusiastic retort to this vice. He said that when the sin worked against you, it deadened your spiritual sense. In essence, it made you complacent. In short, he said that the sloth was the nonchalant man. All ears were glued to Boudreaux's scholarly monologue. When he was done speaking, The Cajun's dark, inscrutable eyes settled on Jim Higginbotham. The center was tall and lanky, a local librarian. He was balding, otherwise no activities to report. As far as I gathered, a complete klutz. Not my kind of guy. The thought came to me that Higginbotham didn't do anything but sit there and complain. He's such a whiner sometimes. The man gets on everybody's nerves. But at other times, he's so calm and collective, so reasonable. You never doubt his logic. But deep down, you can see he's about as slothful as they come. For a second, I looked up at Boudreaux and saw a scornful ray of fury leveled on the dangling piece of bacon that hung from Jim Higginbotham's mouth. Higginbotham carried on as if this charade had nothing to do with him. Boudreaux spoke with indignation. Monsieur Higginbotham, sin creates to the sin. It engenders the vice by la repetition of the same acts. In other words, the sloth can't know the difference between good and evil. That don't matter. You can't destroy the moral sense at the root. Everyone was like, what? So was I. Especially since I had never heard Boudreaux speak like this before. He was quoting some serious verse. Almost as if the spirit had taken over. Benny Loco. It's venom for life. Venom for life. The message was clear though. Jim Higginbotham was in trouble. Boudreaux talked in terms of all the sins being about attitudes. He said they first came into existence around the 4th century. He talked about Pope St. Gregory the Great providing the keys to understanding our faults and the resulting actions. The Cajun said if we comprehended how these answer abilities influenced us, we would comprehend ourselves much better. Boudreaux told Higginbotham to stand. Loans, he said, jabbing the rickety librarian with the point of his gun. Over to the grill, you skinny mullet. You gonna cook up some food, P-Schwank? Jim Higginbotham started to speak. Boudreaux cut him off. In Cardine vous priorité. You got them backwards, son. Comprenez-vous? Higginbotham turned radish red. His nerves were put on high alert. He trembled, his body's attempt to ward off the new emotion. The mortification of the moment having stunned him. "Hey, Vero," Boudreaux added. "Hey, Vero, you don't hit in the device, son. You wear the mask there too." I noticed the vehicle's headlights enter the parking lot. Everyone's attention riveted to the window, which had grown butter thick with condensation. And then Chris Stevens, the store's manager, said, "That's Rick Smith. He's friends with Freddie Ladner," the next person announced. "Monsieur Ladner, the police chief," Boudreaux said. He spoke as if he knew this man, or saw part of his plan coming to fruition. "We gon' for sure let Monsieur Smith know we mean the business." Boudreaux told Jim Higginbotham to get busy and find out what everybody wanted to eat. Next, the Cajun wasted no time preparing to fire a shot through the window. Therese Walker said profoundly, "You're not gonna kill him, are you?" "Pooh, no, lady. I'm just gonna put the light of Jesus in him. Please don't hurt anybody." Boudreaux surveyed the parking lot. The newcomer was already padding up the easy ramp. And then he fired. The ivory-built revolver bucked in his hand. Oh my God, it was a sound I'd never heard. I realized Boudreaux's aim must have been several feet to the left, sailing the bullet well out to sea. Things are getting wild now. Oh, shut up, I told my subconscious. The old Cajun turned to me and said in the harshest of tones, "From the gross bush, man." Well, heck, Boudreaux, that was crazy, don't you think? "Vous comprenez plus tard." What will I understand later, Boudreaux? The old Cajun snickered not once but twice, holding his temper in check. Then he narrowed his eyes and simply walked away in disgust. What did I do? Boudreaux's mad at me now. This can't be good. Yep, you should have kept your big mouth shut. I thought about my life. I thought about what Boudreaux had said. Did I really have a big mouth? Sometimes you do. I thought, oh no, my inheritance. You got that right. Maybe you'll never see a dime. Check. Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that stuff. It's crazy. It gets really, really crazy at the end, but oh my gosh. Whisper something silly to Benny. Benny loco. Benny lover. Benny loco. Benny darling. It's Mother Nature. Oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my phone. Cut off on me. Oh goodness. Oh my gosh, Benny, you didn't have to do that, darling. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh. I looked down at my phone, I had 1% left on there. Need something to drink. It looks like we got about 8 more minutes. I'm gonna do my darndest to get y'all some regular live streams during the week. So I'm gonna have to pace myself. This chair. Hey, Stony man, check. Check, Stony, check. You're highly welcome, my friend. It's Stony Baker, M.E. Sk. It's Benny Loco. Benny Loco. Check Benny darling. Benny Loco. Test. Benny Loco. ska, Benny, ska, 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 ska. Benny Loca, Benny Loca, Benny Loca. It's Benny Loca. Mother Nature calling Mother Nature. Check Mother Nature. Check, 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 check. Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Chair. Nice, nice, nice. I pasta italiano. Yeah, pasta italiano. Cheers. Jerry's Kitchen. Benny Loco Pasta Italiano. Benny Loco. Linguini Pasta Italiano. Laissez les Bon Temps Rouler. Thomas Purcell. Sk, 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 sk. Who's that out there? Who is that? Hey, darling. Brosettes Gents Aura. Brosettes, gins, aura. Sk, sk, sk. Gins, aura. Pasta Italiana. Linguine. Fettuccine Alfredo. Add some of that good, spicy truffle mayonnaise. Sk, 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 sk. Fried shrimp po' boy with some spicy truffle mayonnaise. Sk, 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 sk. Some of that good old po' boy bread. The chair's gonna get tortured by some WD-40 tomorrow. Yeah, check, Benny. That $20 gonna go toward the new chair, darling. Going to the chair fund. Chair fund, share it out. Look at that Jerry's Kitchen. Let me see that. Jerry, you got a cooking channel now. That's awesome. I'm gonna subscribe to Jerry's Kitchen. It's Jerry's Kitchen. Got some good recipes. I see you, Jerry. Robin M. Well, this is all YT Studio music mixed down, remastered, refurbished, repackaged. Okay, Robin, here you go, darling. Gonna refurbish your name. It's Robin M. It's Robin M. Robin M. It's Robin M. And it's Robin M. Robin M. Robin. Check, Robin. Check. Listen to that chair. It's the ASMR chair on steroids. Sk, 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 sk. Gulf Coast Granny. Gulf Coast Granny. Gulf Coast Granny. Gulf Coast Granny. Check Gulf Coast Granny. It's Gulf Coast Granny. Benny Loca. Bubbles, butterfly. Hey, darling. It's Bubbles, butterfly. Bubbles, butterfly. Test butterfly. Test. It's Deb Carson. Hey darling, how you doing? Debbie Carson. It's Debbie Carson. Elvis sent me Thomas Purcell. Bubbles, butterfly. Check, 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 check. It's an audio dream. I would like to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Without you, none of this is possible. You guys get bored, go on over to my channel and hit my Watch Hours playlist. Support the channel. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. I read my novels and other works with sound effects and video that goes along with the story. So if you like books on tape with a twist, stick around. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're on a phone, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Taking it down.